So today there's a story from the shepherd life I would want to share with you. You see, when a lamb is born, sometimes the mom rejects it. Maybe the lamb is weak because the mom spots the weak lamb and the strong one. Maybe she can't even confront, she couldn't stand. She can't stand to see her weak lamb. Or maybe because the lamb came in late. Maybe she doesn't recognize the strength. Instead of nursing and nurturing it, which is very common among mothers, even in mammals, high and low animals, the mother pushes the lamb away. She butts it with her head. She refuses to let it drink. And in the flock, the lamb gets a name. It's called the Boma lamb. Imagine maybe you're born twin or triplet, and your mom decides to weed you away because she notices you're weak. Maybe your mom can't even confront the fact that you're weak, and out of her own survival instinct, she decides to push you away. So that's what happens to the Boma sheep, the Boma lamb. Now guess what normally happens? If the lamb is left alone, the Boma lamb will surely die, because the first person that is meant to protect has butt her head, has isolated her, and at that point in time, it's weak, hungry, and abandoned. But this is where it gets very interesting. There is a shepherd who owns the sheep. The good shepherd notices the Boma lamb. He doesn't leave it behind. He sees it, bends down, scoops it up in his arms, and takes it to his own house. Inside, he warms milk for it. He feeds it by hand, drop by drop, teaching it how to drink. And because it can't stay with the flocks yet, he lets it rest in his lap, on his shoulders, even on his chest. So if you remember the picture of the shepherd carrying a sheep on its neck, most times it's the Boma sheep. The Boma lamb grows up hearing the heartbeat of the shepherd because it's closer to the shepherd. Day by day, it gets stronger until finally, when it's ready, the shepherds bring it back to the field. Now, here's the most powerful part of the story. When the shepherd comes to the field and calls out to all his sheep, guess who's the first to run to him? No, not the strong ones, not the proud ones the mom has looked at and judged perfect, but the Boma lamb, the one who was once rejected by the mom who was meant to give it hope, is the first to hear the shepherd's voice, because it knows the shepherd's voice and remembers the touch. You see, Jesus said, "My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me." John 10:27. And in Psalm 27 verse 10, he reminds us, "Though my father and mother forsake me, the Lord will receive me." You see, most of us are like the Boma lamb who finally becomes a Boma sheep. When the first people that are meant to embrace us reject us, imagine being knocked out by your mom that is meant to give you breast milk. Imagine being knocked out by this first family that is meant to protect you. Imagine being betrayed by your friends or family at work. But there's a difference between the Boma lamb and us. The Boma lamb is spotted by the shepherd. For us, most times we get dejected and we run away, and we don't recognize that the mother sheep doesn't own us, that people around us are just human, that there is a one who owns the sheep, which is the shepherd. So when everyone around you rejects you, it's natural to feel bad like the Boma sheep, but it's also an opportunity to look up and let the shepherd spot you, because it's the shepherd that owns the sheep. Rejection is not the end of your story. When people turn away from you, the shepherd leans in. So this is another day for you to find the real shepherd, Jesus, the shepherd, because he owns the sheep. And when you look at everyone around you at work, have the mind of the shepherd, if you can, because that's what you represent. You could spot the bummer lambs and the bummer sheep in your folk and take out time to do the work of the shepherd, because that's what you're called to do. I hope this inspires you to have an amazing week. My name is Charles Fumi. Cheers to an amazing day. I'm rooting for you.